Welcome to 2 on Tuesday. So this week I took a very short trip to California, and one of the goals I had going on the trip was a concept I call taking the grid with me. One of the things that we have to deal with today is technology, right? And technology is a mixed bag. You want to get away from the grid, right, by going where you want to go, but at the same time, you can't really separate yourself from it. There are basically 3 things I want to break this down into. What is my goal? I'm going away for 2 days, 4 days, a month. What am I trying to accomplish? Is it staying in touch with, my relatives or family at home? Is it that I'm trying to produce an epic movie? Is it that I'm just trying to, take some photos and have a great experience and, maybe in the future look at them or pass them down to my kids? All of these things might be your goal. 2, what is the primary equipment that I need to accomplish my goal? Is it cameras? Is it a cell phone? What are the pieces of primary equipment that I need to take with me? And then 3, and this is a big one, the support pieces. As you know, the phone, it doesn't work without the battery being charged, right? So there's a bunch of support pieces that go along with this. Now, it doesn't always work, because the reason that I'm sitting here right now talking to you in my office is because my trip to California, where I was going to test this piece of equipment, didn't work, right? And the 2 things that I did not anticipate, number 1 was the time. I was not realistic with the amount of time that I had to do what I needed to do. And of course, that becomes incredibly frustrating when you're trying to put something together and you don't have enough time to do it properly, whatever. 2, internet. If you're going to be doing something that needs you to connect your little grid to the big grid, you got to be able to have enough bandwidth to do it, right? My mission this weekend, last weekend failed. Let's talk about primary equipment for a minute, and I break that down into 4 categories. Number 1, communication / safety, because I look at communication and safety as one and the same. How am I staying in touch with the outside world? Who am I staying in touch with? And what do I need to stay in touch with them? Is it a phone? Is it a satellite phone? Is it, in some cases, CB radios, ham radios? Communication is key. 2, recording equipment. What am I recording? Is it photos? Is it video? Am I bringing a drone? Am I bringing multiple cameras, lenses? What is it? Once again, it always is going to go back to what my goal is, right? 3, the production equipment. So usually that has to do with downloading or inputting, media from my camera, or from my video camera, or from, something that I'm recording. And oftentimes it's probably a laptop, maybe it's a tablet. It's what you're storing things with. And then 4, navigation, GPS, satellite tracking things. How am I finding my way around? And then once again, that obviously goes back to safety. So those are the 4 pieces or 4, main categories of primary equipment. 3, support pieces. And, I make lists of support pieces, and I'll read some of them off. I have my piece of paper from this last trip here. Support pieces could be batteries, cables, software, headphones, microphones, lenses, filters for your camera, storage media. You get out there and you're like, I'm ready to go to town taking photographs, but oops, I forgot my the little micro SD card that you can't even see. Modems, transmitters, chargers, gimbals, selfie sticks, cables for USB, for 110, for maybe 24 and 12 volt in your truck. You know, all of these things are like support pieces that your primary equipment, you know, it doesn't work without. So how do I put all of this together and then go on a trip? It's, you know, it seems overwhelming, and, you know, you get that case of you're getting on a plane or you're getting in your truck and you're like, did I forget something? Well, I'm not the most organized person in the world. I make lists. I put it on a piece of paper. Some of you, I hope, are more organized than I, and maybe you have an Excel spreadsheet. Or maybe you're so organized that you can do it in your head. I don't know. But make lists. Number one, go over the list. Go over it 3 times. What I do is I put it in my head. Okay, I've got my camera. I'm going to take a picture. Does it have a card inside it? Okay, it's got a card. It's got the microphone. Okay, good. We got sound. We got a picture. We got everything. Okay, cable runs to, and I literally like envision it out in my head. It runs to my laptop. Perfect. There. Okay, now it's in my laptop. Now what if I want to transmit to the interweb? Okay, can I get out? All these things I'm thinking about. So I kind of go from, you know, point A to point B with the stuff. I can't stress enough. Have a dedicated carrying case for your equipment. Don't mix it in with your food provisions or throw it in with your, you know, in between your underwear and your suitcase. Have a dedicated spot, you know, bag, case, you know, in some cases maybe a couple cases of equipment storage, and make it organized. Spend the time in advance to make it organized. Don't be rummaging through things when you get out into the wilderness. On top of that, reserve custom space for that equipment inside your vehicle. Make sure you have dedicated space and make it, you know, make it easily accessible. And that's really important, because I can't tell you the amount of times that I've been at something that's, you know, a spectacular shot, and, you know, the camera's buried somewhere in the truck, and, you know, and then I get home, and of course, I'm disappointed that I didn't film that. So make it organized, make a dedicated spot in your vehicle, and make it easily accessible. The number one most important thing: test, retest, and test again. I can shoot great video here sitting in my office. I'm not going to run out of batteries. I'm going to have the right cable. I'm going to be able to do whatever I need to do. However, things get really squirrely really fast when you're out in East Nowhere. And, you know, you pull into camp, you set up, you make your food, and you're like, you know, I'm gonna shoot some video right now. And then you're like, oh, sorry, I forgot, you know, whatever it is. Don't wait for the big moment. Don't wait for your big trip to figure out whether or not you have the stuff. It works, and it's efficient. And efficient runs into my next piece: be a minimalist. Don't take any more than you have to. I know we all want to take 15 cameras, and you know, you got through 2 cell phones, and you, oh, well, I better take that. And you know, I've got a ham radio, and I've got a CB radio, and I got family radios, and I got, you know, all this stuff. Great. Sometimes, you know, depending on how long you're going for, it may be important. Maybe it's nice to have some backup. But what I have found is the least amount of stuff, the better. And it's better from a perspective of weight in your truck, space that it takes up, and just ease of use. And remember, we go on adventures, and we go to explore new places to have fun, right? This modern technology, or the grid, if you will, is part of the reason why we go, is to get away from. So don't bring your own grid and then create your own set of modern challenges that bring you down and make the entire trip not fun. So be a minimalist, very important. That's what I got for you today. Pack well, check it, get out there and have fun. We'll see you next week. for watching this video. If you like what we're doing, be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the truck and tree symbol to your right. Once again, thanks and hope to see you soon.